What's going on? What's going on, everybody? Every time I think I'm about to relax while that song is going on, I'm vibing. You all show up. You all show up in the place to be. Listen, happy Monday, January 24th. And just like that, two things. The month is about to be over. We have 6 days. And hold on, let me make sure. I guess I should do that before I got on. Let me make sure that I am live and you guys can hear me. If you can, if you would do me the courtesy, if you would do me the favor of hitting a one button. I'm going to check just to make sure. Let's see. Okay, perfect. Yeah, I think I'm good. I think I'm good to go. Look, I want to get right into it. Well, not right into it. I want to get right into it. Let's talk about some real estate. I rarely talk about real estate on this show. That's going to change. We're going to talk a little bit more about real estate. I wanted to bring up this article. I was reading it this morning. You pull it up for you guys. All right, perfect. I'm hoping you can see this. I'm going to read right off of it because I thought this was interesting. This article came out, you see, January 21st, 2022. It's, CoreLogic Index. It says U.S. rent grew 11.5% year to year. I need to raise my rent. Yeah, that would be nice. If I raise it 11%, if I raise it 10%, I won't go all the way to 11.5. I'll go to 10%. With Miami metro area leading the nation at 33%. Now that's crazy. If you have to pay a third more than what you're paying now, and this is what's going on in Miami. Shout out to Miami. And then of course Orlando. I got Nicholas out of Miami. Nick's been talking about this for one of my guys in my downline has been talking about this for a while. A partner of mine's in EXP. For the last 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 months, he was talking about this rent, and there you see it, 33%, leading the nation. In Orlando, of course, we got Jay in Orlando, another one of my real estate guys, at 15.9%. Coming in at number 5. It says property owners are charging more for their single family rentals as demand soars. And here it is. They're still finding willing tenants. Supply and demand. You can't charge more than the market will bear. Otherwise, you have an empty place. People are paying it. Somebody's paying it. Let's keep going. Single-family rental prices continue to rapidly increase with record growth. In November of 2021, single-family rent growth nationally rose 11.5% year over year. That's 33% is insane. 11%, 10% a year. Taxes go up, inflation, insurance is higher. Landlords are due. 33% is interesting. It says annual rent price growth has continued to double and even triple in the last several months. Let's go Miami Beach. Miami Beach, Kendall area, as of November 2021, where prices jumped 33%. And the next The second highest was Phoenix. Phoenix always has had a hot real estate market. I've never been there. I need to go. I like to check it out. 19.4%. And then Las Vegas, look at Las Vegas at 16.7%. You got Orlando, Kissimmee, Sanford at 15.9%. DC went up 5.4%. That's not crazy, but you know. Improvements. Listen to this. This is what I thought was interesting. The principal economist at Courtlight said improvements in the economy and job market have helped push single-family rent growth to record levels. Now, there's a lot of things that are contributing to the rent being so high. I think personally, you have a lot of people who are selling their properties, getting a lot of money back, a lot of money in equity, getting a lot of cash, and just paying upfront for rent and waiting for the market to stabilize, or maybe they're just out of being homeowners, period. I when I was reading this article, I found this interesting though, because I have a lot of followers on Facebook, and you know, sometimes I scroll, sometimes I unfollow, you know, who are talking about rent, how it's crazy, etc. And what are we going to do about it? The price is being controlled by the demand. This is one of the most simple economic principles: supply and demand. I think there's a plethora of supply. You can always find a rental, but the demand for it outdoes the supply, and people are willing to pay, and people are actually offering higher. It's not even, you know, the landlord's putting out a price. I want $2,000 for this 3-bedroom, 2-bath here in South Florida. People are saying, listen, I don't want to. I'll give you $2,300-$2,400 for it, and I'll give it to you up front. I'll give you 6 months up front, a year up front. I knew someone who just did. They had a rental. They were renting it out for $3,300. They're renting it out for $6,000, and the person gave them the entire year up front. Right in downtown City Place area. It's there, people, and it's season here in South Florida, and I don't see this thing slowing down. I don't see the rental slowing down. So, God bless you. God bless your landlords. Get some property. How about that? How about we get some property? Get as much as you can. 1,000%. Let me see. Let me delete this one. Okay, perfect. All right, so let's get into it. We're going to talk about. I've taken up a little bit of your time so far. I want to get into this portion of it. I'm excited about it. I was driving. I'm always driving, or I'm on the phone. However, I was going to the gym this morning. It was about 5 o'clock in the morning. It was early in the 5. Maybe like 4:45, 4:44. How about that? I like to leave the house. I want to be out of the house by 4:44 in the morning. And so I'm going, and there's two things. I wanted to listen to one of my real estate coaches, Jackie Kravitz. Shout out Jackie Kravitz. If you're in real estate, you're an agent, go check out Jackie Kravitz. She's actually she's down here in South Florida. Sales X training. Shout out to Jackie. If you do go and check her out, tell her that I sent you. So I wanted to listen to some of the stuff that Jackie Kravitz had put out. She puts out every Monday. She puts out a mental toughness lesson. Excellent information. I love it. I'm just being immersed in this sales training, this real estate sales training, etc. Just getting better. And I also wanted to I just started listening to the audiobook, David Goggins, Can't Hurt Me. Incredible story. The way that they portrayed it. It's not the craziest story that I've heard, but it's good. It's good. You can kind of see, it basically tells you what kind of person he is. If you haven't looked up David Goggins, he's probably like one of the most intense, driven people ever. So it's interesting watching him, like listening to him, And even watching, like he puts out content all the time. You can check him out on. I normally see him on Instagram, but I'm sure he has a bunch of YouTube videos as well. So on my way to the gym, I'm saying, what am I going to listen to during my workout? Am I going to listen to Jackie Kravitz, or am I going to listen to David Goggins? Because I want to listen to both of them. I ended up on Sunday listening to both of them, starting off the Can't Hurt Me book and then getting into Jackie Kravitz. And then I just got to thinking, like, it's just like when am I going to have the time to do this? You know, when am I going to have the time to immerse in this real estate training, which I hate to do, also immersed into some self-growth things. That's what David Goggins, his book is essentially about, a lot of self-growth things. And so my mind just got to thinking, especially now that I'm on this mission and I have these goals in line. It's like where do I find the time? So last week, and I think I was putting it there, as we not have enough time. So last week, I spoke about my schedule. I told you guys that Monday through Friday, I'm waking up at about 3:30 in the morning. From 3:30 to about 7, I call that my self time. Okay, so that's me getting prepared. That's me, doing a lot of mindset things to go into the gym, making sure I get my workout in, getting back at 7 o'clock so I can get on the phone and start doing some role play and going through some things with some of my accountability partners, etc. That's from 7 to about 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock, oh yeah, of course I gotta walk the dog. That's part of the self time. At 8 o'clock, I'm hitting the phones, I'm talking to buyers and sellers, seeing, becoming a market maker here in South Florida. That's essentially what you have to do now. You can't just sit back and look around. There's not enough inventory, etc. We need to find our sellers and buyers' homes. We need to sell some of these properties. So just looking out for people like, that's from 8 to 12. Anyway, so on and so forth. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see the entire schedule. I think I actually can play it for you here. Yeah, here it is. Okay, so you see at 3:30 a.m. wake up time. Someone asked me something interesting and said you didn't put sleep on here. I sleep. I'll be in bed by 9:30 tonight. And I'll take a 20-minute power nap. Nothing wrong with that if I have to. Especially after, between 3 and 5, if I don't have an appointment. You all saw that. It went kind of fast. Anyways, long story short, my thought process was like, I just don't have enough time, especially now that I'm on this mission. I have these goals. I have this year goal. I have this 3-year goal, 5-year goal, and my 10-year goal. So like, where do I find the time? So now I'm thinking, in my infinite amount of wisdom was that maybe, just maybe, I should wake up at 3 o'clock, because I want to say maybe 3 or 4 months ago, I was watching another young lady in the real estate game. She's out in California, Mary Lou. She's also a part of this coaching program I'm with in real estate. And I noticed that she was getting up at 3:30. At that point in time, I was getting up at 4:07. No, it was 4. And I said, wow, if Mary Lou's getting up at 3:30 and I want to model what she has going on, then I should get up at 3:30. And I did. And those 30 minutes were it was incredible how much more effective I was. It almost felt like I wasn't rushing. So I'm doing the 3:30 thing, but now I'm thinking maybe I get up at 3 or 3:15. Just because I need to fit. I'm attempting to fit a lot of things into my day in order for me to be more effective, in order for me to reach the highest level of achievement that I can reach and reach the goals that I want to reach. It's like, it's either I need more time or I need to be more effective. It's more so be more effective, because you only get 24 hours in a day. But I'm thinking, if I can get to bed maybe 20, 30 minutes earlier, if I can be in bed by 9:30, like, don't turn, just focus on it. Maybe I can get up at 3 and it'll be more effective. I'm telling you all this because what I'm saying is that once you start to get once you start make that decision that you want to hit your goals and you want to get on your mission, and you start looking and you start doing, excuse me, first off, start being. You start being who you are, right? But then once you start to put things into action and you start taking massive action towards your goals and really starting to get that the momentum going, it's almost like you just don't have enough time. Right? It just seems like there's just not enough time. And I know this might be partially stinking thinking, but when when you think of it, period, just in forms of years, like we're not here for a long time. We're not here for a long time. And so now that thought process got me to thinking about like, okay, so what, how did I get here? I'm close to 40. There's a lot of goals that I want to reach, goals that I set back when I was 20, 18, 19, more like 20 years old, goals that I still want to see come to fruition. So what happened? And then it got to this, and I hope I spelled it right. It was the mismanagement of time. Mismanaging time. I had the intent of where I wanted to be and what I wanted to do, but I wasn't effectively, and I used mismanagement because instead of wasting, because I don't think you wasted it, because I gained a lot of experience from it. So there was a good, as far as me identifying these things, becoming aware of them, this probably was a good 9-year period when I was not on my mission. Okay, so there was like 9 years where I was just like, I was all over the place. I would almost say it's between the ages of 20 to 28, 21 to 29, maybe even further than that. Maybe let's say, I left college 22. So let's say 23 to about 30. And then also I want to say it was about 29, 30 when I was just like, something snapped. Definitely, I had my first son, Elijah. That was like, okay, you need to start getting on your mission. And then I remember getting the book, shouts out to Kurt, who recommended Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, because that just changed my entire trajectory as well. Like Elijah, Think and Grow Rich. Think and Grow Rich got Elijah put the urgency on there. Think and Grow Rich just got the direction going. It was a whole different thought process that I was used to. And then even when I started getting on my grind, the effectiveness wasn't there. Not my grind, my mission. Being effectively headed in the right direction, because I wasn't thinking about, and I guess I probably was wary about the people around me, like what they would think in regards to me reaching out to coaches, etc. I think that's when I first became aware of someone like Tony Robbins. But then it was just like, for the environment that I was in, like that was weird. Nobody knew about Tony Robbins, and if they knew about Tony Robbins, they were just like, people would think of it as cultish, kind of like it's insane, the thought process that I had back then. Because it doesn't matter. It was interesting because years later, everyone is Tony Robbins out. And people were Tony Robbins out back then. Tony Robbins out. However, I thought it was weird because of this character that I was portraying at the time. 2020, like I'm, going to mindset things at Tony Robbins, and I was doing it anyways, right? Because I got a hold of a lot of Tony Robbins tapes, etc., and just started doing the breathing exercises, just started doing the better thinking. Even when I got to Think and Grow Rich, I went out and I gave everybody a copy of it. I just thought it was the best thing since sliced bread. It was interesting, and if you want a copy, let me know. I'll give you a copy. I love giving out that book. That's one of the books that I love. But it was like I was mismanaging my time. I wasn't investing it wisely, and I definitely wasn't being effective. Especially now looking back, especially after what I've done in the last 3 to 4 months, like it's just insane the amount of immersion, how immersed I am into what it is that I'm doing. in this direction, especially in real estate. So my thought process is, so to help you guys out, you all, we have to be more aware of the time that we're spending. What are we doing with it? And this is by no means saying that a person shouldn't enjoy themselves, that a person shouldn't treat themselves to experiences. You should live a joyful life. You should treat yourself to experiences. All I'm saying is these things, we have to understand that are they contributing to where it is that we want to be and go? Or are they not? What kind of investment are we making with our time? Right? How are we investing our time? Because these are the seeds that you sow, right? And you're going to reap whatever you're going to reap from these seeds that you're sowing. So do you necessarily need to go on that trip as opposed to fixing some trauma in your life? It's going to take you to the next level. Once you start letting go of that trauma, maybe you start to become aware of the trauma. Maybe you need to, instead of going on this trip to get your mind right, whatever that means, you start intentionally looking at ways of getting your mind right where you are. This is crazy. This is powerful. And I'm hoping you catch it. Because no matter where you go, that's the saying, there you are. Remember, I don't know if you all knew people like this, but I remember everything was like, the only thing that was, people always thought moving to Atlanta would fix everything. Atlanta has a bunch of people who probably has a bunch of people who thought that moving there would fix everything. Atlanta was going to fix relationship problems. Atlanta was going to fix money issues. Atlanta was going to fix spiritual issues, business issues, like everything. Shout out to Atlanta because I love the city. Love going to Atlanta. But it was just a point in time where people were like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I heard this rhetoric as of maybe a year and a half ago. I had a friend of mine, or a friend that I knew, was like, I'm moving to Atlanta. I'm like, okay, good luck. Right? Because we know that no matter that we take our attitude with us, even in Atlanta, we're going to still find ourselves in the same. We're going to attract ourselves once we get there. So the same people that we were dealing with, they're just going to have a different name, different body character, whatever, in Atlanta, right? So, and I said all that in regards to, and I know I took it from the trips, but it's like, what are you investing in? The best investment you can make is in yourself, right? It goes without saying. So instead of those trips, invest in yourself, invest in becoming better right where you are. I'm not saying, and I'm not telling you spend a lot of money, but if you're going to be spending the money, okay. Let me see what else. I want to make sure if I get to this last point. So leveraging your money, your energy. Okay, so regardless of wherever you're going, you're going to invest time. You're gonna, or you can actually leverage your money and your energy in exchange for, so you get your time back if you have the money. A lot of people may not necessarily have the money to invest. Okay, or maybe they do. Maybe they don't have the time to invest. Maybe you do have a little bit of some savings, something that you can put towards your growth. I suggest you do it. And I suggest you take massive, especially you're becoming more aware of whatever your mission, your goals is. I think that you should take massive action by doing, if it's Tony Robbins, doing Tony Robbins. For real estate, or not even just real estate, overall, there's Daniel Morel. Go check him out. He has several different things that he does, events that he does. One is Journey, that'll be next month in Denver. I think he just did it in California in November. heard great reviews of it. People came and said that he changed their lives during that event. You know, we're here in Palm Beach. Tony Robbins has something maybe once or twice a year down here in West Palm. Awaken the Giant or whatever it is, go do it. You know, I did something. I think I did a couple years ago, I did the training, the gratitude training, which was awesome. Different. Immerse yourself in these different trainings if you need it, because what it does is it speeds this up. And you're starting to get your time back. Well, you don't get your time back, but you kind of leverage it. You're leveraging your money or energy to get so that you can do other things with your time. Instead of going to, I'm not telling you not to, some of you may need to go, but maybe you can just fully immerse yourself into these different trainings. There was another one. Oh my gosh. I never went. Oh man. I don't know. There's another training. And I think it's still going on now. That I've heard several people do. But maybe it's that time. Maybe you, like me, you had 8-9 years of where you kind of were just going off and doing whatever it is that you wanted to do. You were, you know, you had these missions and these goals, but you kind of wanted to live this life for whatever reason. My suggestion is that you start to immerse yourself, total immersion, do some experiential trainings. That's the Tony Robbins. That's probably what Journey is as well. And start to right the ship and start getting headed in the right direction. Right? This is gonna happen, you know, and do it now. This is the time for you. The present is the best time for you to make it. It's the only time. The present is the only time that you can make it. You can change. You can make a change. Can't think about the past. Can't too much think about the future. You just need to make that change now. So, anyways, listen, people. That's enough. It's 9:26. I probably should have been in bed by now. I appreciate you all for checking me out again each and every Monday. Remember, on Friday, we'll be doing Community Beacon. Last week was wonderful. We're steadily talking about legacy. My God. I'm close to 40. I was quoted. Oh my God, this is crazy. It was like, go get yourself some life insurance. Term for your family. All right, that's it. I'm not preaching. God bless you guys. I love you. I will see you next week. Friday, 6:30 is Community Beacon. Also, check out Joe. He's doing some excellent stuff. He has the Tenacity Foundation. Starts With Me is on Wednesdays at 12:30. I think he's up to show 4 or 5. Excellent show. He's doing a lot of great work. Go check out the Tenacity Foundation. Joe Simmons. He's also the co-host on Community Beacon on Fridays. I will see you guys next week here again on Mondays. Other than that, man, have a great one.